I remember watching an interview with Stephen Fry discussing religion and why he's an atheist, and in response, Fry comes out asking how there could be a god that is all of the things we say he is, who then went and created creatures like parasitic worms that burrow into the eyes of children and eat them from the inside out. Fry's question was, how could such a loving god actively punish his creation, and why? After watching 2019's Breaking Barbie, I get it. +1 for you, God. Breaking Barbie is the film equivalent of going for a nice stroll on the beach and having your flip-flop nailed to your foot by a used needle. It's quite frankly baffling even by the standards of other bad films, but I've already watched it, so I guess I'm gonna review it. After whatever the Jesus tap dancing Christ that was, we're introduced to the film's main character, played by Vera Vanguard. Vera plays Barbie Brennan, the amalgamation of every fever dream about social media I've ever woken up from in the middle of the night in a cold sweat.
I wonder how many hashtags that can fit into this post. What if I'm seen with a guy that doesn't even have at least 10,000 followers? I thought we were gonna take some cute selfies and go back to his place.
Our very likeable protagonist has lied on her dating profile and led some guy out into the woods on false pretenses of going onto a hiking date. Also, I hope you're not bored of this music yet, because it's not going away anytime soon. Anyway, Barbie doesn't know what hiking or rock climbing really is because she's got a brain smoother than velvet. As a result, she doesn't take any gear or supplies with her, and what little she does have she swaps out for makeup. Also, I don't use the word simp lightly, but...
Everything about her is perfect. I can't wait to invite her to my mansion in Hawaii.
Luckily, before the poor lad can try and find out her OnlyFans handle, fate conspires to remove both him and his wallet from the situation. He survives, only to be thwarted by some wily coyote shit when Barbie tries to get a phone signal. There's some dense storytelling ahead, so I hope you're ready. A poor CGI airplane is blown out of the sky by a poor CGI flying saucer. Barbie is too distracted to notice this on account of the fact that she suddenly has the shits. I'm definitely 100% sure this wasn't thrown in as some kind of fetish thing to attract a particular crowd. On an unrelated note, here's some timestamps from the YouTube upload of this film. Moving swiftly on, Barbie encounters what seems to be a survivor of the plane crash who threatens her with a butter knife. She assumes that he's with the police, but...
Police? No. I'm Homeland Security.
Agent Ralph here seems to be tracking someone down, but more pressingly, he seems to be being hunted by aliens. He gets on the phone to his boss to say that he secured the briefcase and requests backup, while Barbie continues acting like a plank. Once he's done, she asks if she's free to go.
Are you an illegal alien? 6 eyes? Tentacles?
I'm from Texas.
Close enough.
Anyway, Agent Ralph has a fantastic brawl in the background with an alien where you're absolutely sure he's going to end up gruesomely killed, only for him to pop up immediately afterwards without any explanation and then hilariously, awkwardly walk away. Okay, so there's aliens, special agents and accidental manslaughter. What does our protagonist, the driving force of the story, decide to do next? If you said, get high as shit on mushrooms, you'd be right. Stumbling around like even more of a drooling idiot than normal, Barbie comes across this lady fighting off-screen aliens in the middle of the woods. This is Agent J, and for the scientifically minded among you, she's played by Jenna Sativa. Barbi, of course, is still high as balls. So we keep jumping between this and this. Agent J realises that the aliens aren't shooting at Barbi because she's wearing pink, and they apparently can't see pink. Luckily for all involved, Agent J is wearing frilly pink underwear under her suit. Her phone isn't pink though, so when she goes to report this to her superior, she's vaporised immediately. RIP. Okay, a few questions here. What about Barbi's pants? They're black. What about Agent J's glasses? They're black. What about their skin? Anyway, before you can think too hard on that, we're suddenly in Dark Souls. Barbi has moved on and is having a fantasy about sword fighting with an ex-boyfriend of hers, and the fight choreography is, interesting.
She slapped my ass. She slapped my ass. She slapped my ass.
Anyway, Barbi disarms him and he ends up walking off in a huff. We cut to Barbi back in the woods, now finding balloons and popping them for some reason as a killer clown stalks her in the bushes. Is this clown motel again? Anyway, the clown finally reveals himself and makes his intentions known.
I'm gonna kill you, bitch!
Oh my god!
What?
Barbi manages to get away from her hallucination before seemingly being molested by aliens in her sleep. Hey, do you remember that music from the beginning? Barbi runs from a fake spider in her hat, falls down a cliff past a pterodactyl, before falling into the arms of the Josh Brolin we have at home. This is the backup that Agent Ralph was presumably calling in. After she has some wedding fantasies about him, he says he has unfinished business, and buggers off. Recommencing her aimless wandering, Barbi comes across the lady that Agent Ralph was trying to find before, trying to 127 days herself with the same butter knife from the beginning. Apparently, after a Dragon Ball Z fight with Ralph over the mysterious briefcase filled with state secrets, the flying saucer triggered a rock slide and killed him, trapping her. When Barbi turns her back to get a stick and lever the boulder off, the lady is apparently ninjaed away by the aliens without a scream to be heard. Cool. Anyway, a roar sets Barbi off running yet again. Then there's some boring bits with not Josh Brolin and more frigging walking, but I want to get to the cave. Barbi comes across a cave inhabited by the best character in the film. Meet the monk. He's played by the amazingly named Americus Abasamis, a sumo wrestler. The monk challenges Barbi to reflect on what she's learned on her journey, and honestly I don't think I could help her. Have you been wondering what's been going on so far? Are you stumped as to how everything fits together? Well, this is the scene that the movie uses to explain it all. Are you ready? This knowledge comes at a terrible cost.
When the ancient gods came down in their flying chariots and seeded mankind with their DNA, the aliens never left. They're still here. Touchy-feely Chuck, Bob, and Steve tried to help, but accidentally caused the disco era and the porn industry. Then there are the lizard people, total assholes. Homeland Security was founded to keep them in check. They created the internet to distract the people from what's really going on. And that is the secret wisdom that only a few chosen have ever been given.
Confused and more than likely powerfully aroused by this religious experience, Barbi decides to leave while the monk snorts glue.
Oh.
Outside, Barbi encounters a hated social media rival, Jessica. I will provide a rough summary of this scene. I literally can't even J. Moving on, she once again encounters the second to last action hero. He's been wounded fighting the aliens, who ambush them and catch him in a tractor beam. At this point, the movie has the absolute balls to try and go for a character arc. Barbie, realising that she's missed out on essentially everything so far because she's been so distracted looking at her phone screen, goes back to save Agent What's-His-Face.
Xenos, fear me.
The movie ends with him recruiting her, telling her about the Avengers Initiative and all that. There's also 2 post-credit scenes, but no, I need sleep. End. Well, that was certainly an experience. It's been over a year since I last saw Breaking Barbie, and I'm not quite sure the hair of the dog that bit me was the best solution for what I felt the first go around, but the movie definitely has its moments. There is an absolute ton of stuff that I missed and some actually genuinely pretty funny moments in there that were intentional. If you boozed up or blazed up, I can think of worse ways to spend an hour and a half. More to that, the movie is actually free and available on the Barbarella X Science Fiction Movies channel, who have apparently purchased the rights to it. If you'd like to give it a look, I put the link in the description below. Now, if you'll excuse me, I don't know whether to wank or cry, so I think I'll do a bit of both. Bye!